right.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Neverending Train. We have three wonderful people here, two people who have been on the train before, and one who has been in previous games of mine, but not on the train, and I am so happy they are all here. Starting from the top, which is you, Radda, can we, introduce yourself and your character, please?
Hi, I'm Radda Tunes. I formerly went by Raddaman 8000, but I'm going through a bit of a rebrand. And I'm playing Loccan Target. He hasn't been featured in an episode since episode 3, so...
It's been a while.
Yeah.
We're glad to have him back, though. Ghosty.
Hey, I'm Ghosty Goo, and I will be playing Floof, the KFC fire chicken.
Oh my gosh.
It's gonna be so good. And last but certainly not least, Shadowrune.
I'm Shadowrune, and I will be playing Danny. He's a Frankenel ranger.
And is absolutely not wanted in multiple countries across Inkwell. What are you talking about?
Oh, no, totally not wanted. And he's totally not missing either, so...
Yeah. Sorry, I've got to say that's still my favorite running gag from the horror game that I did before. So I'm never going to drop it. I hope that's okay.
That's not his running gag.
Yeah.
Even today.
Anyway, I will have to be muting the Hazelnut Gallery this time as we've got a rather small crowd of Liz. Liz, I love you. Thank you for coming to listen in. But I am going to move over to the game zone so that I don't lose track because, where we're about to begin is, you guys have all been on the train for a little while, varying amounts for all of you. And before we get into what this session will be, can we get quick catch-ups? So, Loccan, how long has it been and how are you going?
Specific length of time, I'd say it's been at least a couple of weeks. At least a couple of weeks, just going through, carriages. But he's had a bit of an unfortunate run with getting into unpopulated carriages, so he's kind of having a bit of a castaway syndrome at the moment. Yeah,
because especially as the problem is, on the train, time kind of doesn't mean anything. Everything's all over the place. It may have felt like a couple of weeks, it may have felt like a couple of months, depending on your mental state.
Yeah, he's ended up taking his iron pot from his inventory and drawing a face on a piece of paper and taping it onto the pot and naming it Potson. This is his friend now.
Okay, you told me prior to this that you had made a little friend to talk to you. I didn't know it was a pot named Potson.
That was a last-second decision, but I'm so glad I made it.
It's amazing. Okay,
he also scribbled on a 5 o'clock shadow because he couldn't grow one.
Okay, we've barely started. Just for that, I'm giving you a point of inspiration because I love that. Thank you. All right. As you walk through the next door, you solve another puzzle, you go through another door, there's the flash of light, and you step out into the next carriage. And can I get a quick perception roll from you, please?
Perception. Alright.
Alrighty. Always a fun way to start things. It's not a roll, you just do the D. You've been spending a lot of time on Roll20, haven't you? That's a 7.
No, it's a bash extravaganza.
Fair enough. Alright, that is a 7. I'll get back to you on that one. Next up, Floof, how have you been going? How many carriages do you reckon you've been through now?
I would say maybe 5 or 10. I would say it's probably been a while since he's seen other passengers, and he's not doing well.
Ooh boy, so you've been pretty isolated as well. It's the problem with a train this big, and I suppose they're always the denizens of different carriages, but they never feel quite like people, do they?
Oh no.
No. Alright, so if you're kind of in a similar situation, in that case, you solve yet another puzzle, you go through another door, and can I get a roll from you as well? A perception roll specifically. Also, it has while you're rolling this, it has slipped my mind from last time. You were a reasonably new arrival in your previous carriage, weren't you?
Think so.
Yeah, well, after you've rolled perception, then can you roll me just a straight d20 and we'll see how much you've... That's also a 7. Right, I'm glad we got even numbers here. But yeah, straight d20 to see how much you've learned about the train. That's an 8. Okay. I think you have heard whispers, like vague comments from some of the denizens that you have come across that this is a train, vaguely. You have no idea what else is going on. You just know you wind up in a place, you solve a problem, you go through a door, you wind up in another place, and that's the cycle just repeats, and it's getting really, really tiring at this point. And
yeah, Floof kind of traded his extra brain cells for extra feathers, so I'm not surprised.
That was a lot of brain cells gone, I've got to say, for that many feathers. And last, we have Danny. How long have you been on the train now?
I would say that Danny actually hasn't been on it for very, very long. Probably like a couple days.
All right.
So it hasn't really sunk in just exactly how big it was. He's baffled by it, and he's getting to the terms of it, but he's moving through it like, I just gotta get to the engine room or find somebody who could just stop this train and let me off.
Yeah, so you've gone through 3, maybe 4 carriages then, and like it's you don't really know what things are. Although yeah, actually do roll me a d20 as well, so you can figure out if you even are on a train, because this place really doesn't act like a train much unless you get into the inner workings of things. That's an 11. Okay, not bad. Yeah, in that case, you know it's a train. You're starting to get the patterns of things, but as you said, you haven't had the chance to really comprehend the scale of this place yet. So yeah, these individual carriages or places you're winding up in do seem to be quite big and strange, and there's a lot of nonsense going on, but you're not quite sure exactly how it's all working. And finally, we'll get a perception roll from you as well, please. Also, our audience has expanded from 1 to 3. Please know I love all of you.
Me plus my perception. I think that's it.
That's a 23.
Finally, a good roll.
Okay, well, I guess that kind of evens things out from the 7s that the other 2 got. I'm gonna start with them, I think. So, Loccan and Floof, you guys are getting really tired. You're no longer really paying attention to all these hundreds of carriages that you're going through. It's just open the door, go to the next one, get to the door, open the door, go to the next one. And you kind of rock up in this next, and you just kind of notice it's pretty hot. There seems to be some sort of sun. The environment's kind of rocky, and you can kind of hear rattling, noisy stuff in the distance, but you don't know, you don't care, you're just tired. And you don't even actually notice it, but both of you have stepped out of the door at the same time, and you don't realise it until you both take a step forward, and Loccan, you almost trip over Floof.
What the... Oh my god, it's somebody else!
My goodness, there's another tune on this train.
Oh, how many weeks has it been? Oh. Well, Loccan's like, he's got Potson in one hand, and when he initially tripped, he had like reached out to make sure that Potson didn't like get injured because he's just that far gone. But now that he's seeing Floofy, he's kind of like, oh, I gotta make introductions. I've gotta get back into like, I've gotta be presentable. So he's like slightly fixing up his like jacket and everything. It's like, hello there. My name is Loccan Target. Pleasure to meet you.
My name is Floof, and I am of the long, long line of Floofs. Well, actually, I don't quite remember what my last name is. I'm sorry.
You certainly look like a floof, so I'd say that's appropriate.
Yes.
Well, while that little introduction is happening, Danny, you also step out of the door, and I will say, this is the first time you have encountered other toons on this train. You've encountered toon-ish like denizens of the train, but they never quite acted right. They definitely seem to be part of the train rather than other people, as opposed to these, no doubt, two disasters standing in front of you. And with that 23, yeah, you see these two. You see the messes that they're in. You also actually are the first person to get a proper look on the environment. And you seem to be perched at the top of this massive canyon. And down through the canyon, you can see this clouds of dust being kicked up by something moving along it really fast. Multiple somethings, in fact, considering you got a 23. And in the distance, you can hear the cries of like muffled voices going through a speaker. You can hear the roar of crowds, and you can hear the of rattling cartwheels and galloping horses.
Studio. And oh, hey, people. I called. Hello. Are you real?
I mean,
Is real.
pretty sure you guys are real, and if that's the case, then I think I'm real too.
Do you know what's going on? I've been on this train for a couple days, and you're the first people I've come across. What's so funny?
Loccan hears this, and he's just starting to laugh. It's like, a couple days. Oh, God. I think it's been a couple of months for me. I can't tell anymore.
Oh, indubitably.
Big is this train? It just sank in that I'm probably in a lot of trouble.
Maybe not.
Actually, I've sort of adjusted to the fact that I may be on this train for the rest of my short life.
I mean,
there's gotta be a way off.
The good news is, Floof, I will say, I'm not entirely sure how chickens age, but no matter how long it feels like you've been on this train, you haven't aged.
To be fair, Floof also isn't very smart.
Nope, that's fair. Probably didn't notice it.
Yes.
Yeah. Loccan's just looking at the newcomer. It's like, oh, if you're gonna be here anyway, you might as well get to know us, eh? The name's Loccan Target. Sharpshooter with my face. And this is Potson. He's been my friend for the past 3 weeks.
Hello, Potson.
The paper just doesn't move. It's a blank stare.
My name is Floof, and I have been on my own for about a month. Well, of course, except for my great lord and master Reynard. Though he is always with me. In spirit, of course.
Oh, how charming. I'm Danny. I've been here for a couple of days, just trying to figure out what was going on. Totally not wanted in any country or town or anything like that. I'm just a totally normal, average ranger.
That's good to hear.
Those respected rangers.
I will say, even with your horrendous perception checks you got before, going off your passive perceptions, in the distance, you hear something that sounds a lot like a gunshot.
Loccan turns his head and realizes he's standing in a bit of a deserty area, and there's just been a gunshot. He's like, this place reminds me of home.
Down in the canyon below you guys, you actually get the chance of, like, while only Danny really saw it from a distance before, you guys can now easily see and hear the rattling of those carts and the clopping of horse hooves as various multicolored, very strange looking carts come whooshing down the base of the canyon in a straight line heading towards the other end of things. You guys can draw, like, if you want more information, you are going to have to make more rolls, but I will say there definitely looks like there's something going on down there.
Some kind of race that we walked into? Happening.
I'm gonna have Loccan, like, look again just to see if he can identify what's going on better.
Now that you know there are other people, you have just, like, that little bit of extra sanity needed to have a better look around, hopefully.
He's got actual voices to talk to again. So yeah, I'm just gonna roll a perception to see if he can tell what's going on.
Oh, good, that's a 5. Nope, that's even worse. You are obviously distracted by the fact that there are actually people here again.
Floof is gonna try and roll again. Just because he heard a gunshot and he was like, oh wait, firearms. Would that be a perception or an intelligence check?
I would say roll me investigation, seeing as you're trying to listen for, like, a specific thing.
Okay.
I will, though, note you are talking to someone with a gun for a head as well, though.
Yeah.
That's an 18. All right. Okay, yeah, with that, yeah, you can definitely hear there does seem to be some sort of gunshot going in there. With an 18, yeah, but it's not quite like, there's a difference between firing some sort of bullet, and there's a difference between something just firing to make a lot of noise, and with no other real effect. You're fairly sure this falls into the latter category of some sort of, this is there to make noise, to announce a thing, to get attention, or something along those lines.
I dare say there's some sort of celebration going down out there. So you have a gun for a head. That is amazing.
It's not as amazing as you think it is, but I'll take it.
Well, why don't we go down there then? See what's going on. Can't be any worse than standing up here.
Yeah, fair enough point there.
They'll have cannons.
Hey. And guns. So, should we...
I already am one.
And I think on
Even better.
I think with that wonderful conversation topic, yeah, you guys can start walking down. It takes a little, you find a couple of little winding paths that do actually manage to lead down into the base of the canyon. And once you're about halfway, the paths start getting a bit wider, more clearly marked, and you can hear the chatter of people down below you. You can't really see anyone yet. It's mostly just a lot of little dust clouds, maybe some streamers, and banner flags kind of strung up around the place. But it sounds like there is something busy going on down beneath you. Was there any conversation you guys wanted to have while you talked, or do you want me to just continue onwards?
So, my friend, do you eat gunpowder?
What? Oh, no, I don't. I eat food like a regular tune. It's fine.
Okay.
Fine. I do shoot things out of my face. Like, I'm a world-class spitter.
Fascinating.
Can you watermelons?
Can you shoot other objects like bowling balls out? That would be impressive.
Maybe if I tried hard enough. I don't know. I might.
Gotta find a bowling ball soon.
I mean, it's probably not the best idea to shove a bowling ball in my mouth.
Indeed.
Have you ever tried, though?
No.
There you go.
I say this requires more experimentation.
Because small, we get a watermelon first.
Watermelons are bigger than bowling balls.
Get a personal one.
And with that, you guys make it down to the bottom of the canyon. I love this, but I'm going to forcibly move the story along. You guys make it down to the bottom of the canyon, and you do see the crowds that seem to have been making all these noises. They're a bunch of background characters. They did this is like not even just NPCs like you guys may have encountered in previous carriages. These are kind of just little background blobs. Like, I'm not sure if you guys know this fact, but in for Star Wars Episode 1, when they were doing the pod racing and they had the like giant stands filled with audience, that was done with like a bunch of little painted Q-tips stuck into the stands and then blowing a fan underneath. So when they was doing the big crowd shots, the people you were kind of surrounded by have all the definition of painted Q-tips. But
See every day.
I'm going.
You go.
I'm going to do a quick sanity roll for Floof, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Because Q-tips are pretty close to matches. Oh no.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
So you guys kind of see Floof like start shaking, and he's got like a malevolent look on his face, as malevolent as a tiny puffball can get. And he starts walking towards the crowd. And
please don't burn down the background characters.
Someone please stop Floof.
Danny like reaches out like, Floof, where are you going?
I need to burn them.
Sorry? What?
For the great Lord Renard, I have to sacrifice them.
Danny's thinking to himself, oh, why do I? I was like, oh, I met another one.
Loccan's like blinking like, sure, he may have gone mad, but he didn't go this mad, right?
Oh, no. Some people are actually born with it. Trust me, I know.
Floof was born with it. This is just how he is.
Oh god, now I'm just... Sorry, the idea of Floof and Doc Acne on an adventure together, oh god. God.
This is literally just the first time Floof has rolled low enough that he goes on a murderous rampage.
Oh.
Thankfully you are small and being held back by other people. Anyway, aside from the crowds, you guys also get a chance of seeing there are a couple of pens of assorted animals. There's a bunch of, like, you can hear the sounds of woodworking in the distance, and just past the heads of the crowd, you can hear, you can see a black and white checkered banner stretched across what seems to be a pretty beaten track in the ground that goes on down, that looks like it goes down on the length of the canyon. And you also see a couple of people, a couple of teams of people in assorted and strangely manufactured and coloured carriages, waiting at the starting line and waiting to go, basically.
I'll be darned, you were right, it is a race.
Well, it's actually right.
Fire for the fire god!
The fire guy could wait. Let's figure out what's going on here.
I like to imagine you guys have him like picked up in one arm and he's just like flailing around.
Bringing praises and obscene, bringing praises to the fire god.
Oh my gosh.
One more team, roll up with your card here and join the race. Win fame, win fortune, win shiny medals. One more team, come on folks, have we got anyone left? You hear an announcer shouting above the roar of the crowds.
I mean, we don't really have a vehicle, but we could probably find something.
What do you think, Floof?
I must burn them!
I think we know who's the engine.
I'm tempted
Can't
to
argue
actually.
with that one.
I'm tempted to actually let you use that. I had again. I had numbers planned out. If you want Floof to just be the engine instead, I won't stop you.
All right. Well, let's see if we can just enter this thing. Price down.
Maybe we'll find a rental.
Yeah. Yeah, rent. It's got to be cheap because if it doesn't have an engine.
So Loccan's gonna go and see where the heck the sign-up booth actually is.
Alright, once you step out of the crowd and you guys can get, again, you get a really good look at the various other people lined up to race. There's a group of rather pointy-looking people in a, Roman-looking carriage that are bright red. There's a bunch of people that have, blue lightning painted along the sides of their cart. You've got a couple of people that seem to be in, a dark green tank that's just going to try and smush over everything else. You've got some beautiful orange yellow the cart that is decorated with feathers along the side, and you've got one that's just kind of pink and it's got something looking kind of like a big cat, kind of tunish. You're not sure what's going on there, but you guys also spot where the announcer is speaking into a megaphone, still going, one more team to sign up, bring your cart, don't bring your cart, make your cart, come on, we need one more team to sign up to get this race going. And if you feel like going over, you can just go over and talk to the guy.
Yeah, let's do that. He seems to be the one who knows the most about what's going on here.
All right. Let's go say hello. He still has Floof under his arm. He's trying. He's hopefully that nobody's going to notice his scream for about the fire god.
That'll be fine.
Alright, as you head over to the stand where the announcer is sitting, he turns his face down to look at you three and see you kind of lining up. Like, aha! Looks like we have some contenders. Bello, at your service. Are you here to sign up?
And indeed we are. Team of 4.
I completely forgot why there was 4 for a second, and then I forgot that your pot exists. Yeah. I must say, sir, I'm only counting 3 heads.
Loccan just holds up the pot. 4.
Team of 4 it is! Do you have your cart, and are you ready to race?
Actually, we kind of misplaced ours. We were hoping there might have been a spare around.
Not to worry. And there won't just be a spare, because in these races, we don't just do carts, we do custom carts. Head over to the cart creation station and make your ride so we can get ready to race. And he points you towards the back, where there does indeed, where you saw various pens with various animals in them before, and you could hear the woodworking, but now you're actually getting a better look, and it does seem to be a whole place where carts are in bits and pieces, and presumably you can go and choose those bits and pieces, and indeed customize your cart.
Ooh.
And this is going to be the point where I ask the 3 of you to kind of choose which bits you want to go looking for, because you're going to have one of you is going to have to choose the body of the cart. You get to go through and inspect a couple, have a look at them, and figure out how you want the shape of the cart to be. One of you is going to go looking at wheels, depending on how big you want them to be, how chunky, how strong, how grippy, all of that sort of stuff. And one of you is going to have to figure out what sort of creature is going to be pulling this cart, unless you have already made up your minds. But yeah, who wants to do what?
Loccan will go looking for the body, a good body shape.
All right. What sort of thing
The
would you...
wheels.
All right, wheels for Floof.
I was gonna say Floof would look for the creature.
Oh, sorry.
Presumably looking for gunpowder.
So sorry, I got you and Shadow mixed up, Ghosty. Sorry, but yeah,
it's all right.
Loccan's just gonna turn back. Remember, we're not trying to make any of them into steak.
When Reynard brings the reckoning upon this world, you shall be last.
I'll take that as a compliment.
all right. In that case, Loccan, you head over to the place where there seems to be the most amount of woodworking happening. You see a large range of carts in, like carts and carriages and chariots and this and that, the other, in all sorts of stages of building and repair. They look like a couple that have been splintered a couple of times but put back together. What sort of thing are you looking for? Because there are 3 that are currently available. An open carriage, a Roman-style chariot, and an armoured cart. If you want...
Well, from looking...
I was going to say, if you want, you are welcome to make rolls here, like any role you think would suit, and I can potentially give you more information.
Loccan's gonna do... I'm gonna do an investigation roll on the armored car just to kind of see how tough it is.
Okay. That's a 22. Very nice. Yeah, if you are specifically looking at toughness, you can tell this armored cart can stand up to a lot. You have a quick glance over at the the open carriage and the chariot, and the open carriage looks like it could probably deal with a fair bit. The chariot looks like it would not stand up at all if, a wrecking ball hit it. But this armored cart is solid. Downside is it does look kind of heavy, so it may not be able to get anywhere very quickly, but it could certainly stand some damage.
Because I'll admit, Loccan was slightly intimidated by the tank. But he's gonna take a look. He's gonna take a closer look at that open carriage this time.
All right, roll again then.
It seems to be the sort of the average in this case. Might work out well considering what they've got to work. So.
All right. Do you want to pick? Yeah, open carriage.
Yep.
Alrighty. Let me note down those little stats, because there are stats for every single part of this. Why did I do this to myself? That is... wait, no. 3 and 10. Alright, next up, while you have selected that and you're dragging that out in the open to show the rest of your teammates, Danny, you're up. You're looking at the wheels. There are a couple of choices here. There seem to be some wooden spoked wheels. Wooden spoked wheels, kind of thin, wouldn't take up much space and would mean that the carriage would be quite lightweight. But they're wood. You're not sure how great they'd be for turning or anything. There are some rubber tires, which are, the pretty average thing on, this is the part where we just get horrendously ahistorical, because, rubber tires in a cart makes so much sense, but there's rubber tires. There are also some other tires that seem to have chains wrapped around them, possibly for extra grip, but you're not too sure, and if you want to find out more, give me rolls.
Should we... perception?
Yeah, sure thing. Alright, a 14. That's enough that you can figure out some stuff. Yeah. I did vaguely mention it before. It definitely looks like the wooden spoke wheels are... They're not going to be great to steer with, but they don't seem to take up very much space. They look like they could be easily affixed to the cart. The rubber tires seem to be kind of like the average ones, and the ones with the chains around them seem like, oh wow, those would be great at gripping onto things, but they are very big and chunky, and if you're trying to save on space, they might take up a fair bit of it.
Tough one. So Danny would be thinking, it's like, okay, well, running through the desert, he's thinking about, like, well, we need good grip. We need something that could turn in case we need it. He's looking at the regular rubber tires. But his only other concern would be that they hopefully won't melt in the heat.
I will. It's vulcanized rubber, so it should be okay in terms of not melting.
Okay, so he's looking at that. He's saying, like, okay, well, it's it won't take that much room. It's got good grip. We could turn with it. Versus the wooden one and the big giant chained one. So he's thinking that he might choose the rubber tires.
Alrighty, in that case, once again, going the middle road. I've got to say, picking, like, the numerically average ones is going to be helpful. What on earth did I... Sorry, I've already immediately forgotten what the fucking numbers I gave to things were as I scroll down. I need 5 and 2, 5 and 2, 5 and 2, 5 and 2, 5 and...
Also, as a side note, when you were talking about the heat, I was like, I'm more worried about the tires melting from floofy than the desert heat.
Yeah, that's a possibility. That's something I'm not going to rule out. And last but certainly not least, Floof, how are you doing?
I'm going to roll another sanity check here to see if he has calmed down at all.
Please, yeah. That's an 8. No, like,
just a little,
the tiniest bit.
Yeah. So he goes up to the person in charge of the beasts, I guess, and he's like, "Do you have any horses that are currently aflame?"
The man manning the animals, like, again, looks kind of faded, looks fuzzy, looks like hasn't been built properly, but just kind of don't have any on fire. I've got some faster runners, though, if you're looking for that sort of thing.
Roll a straight D20 to see if Floof is smart enough to think of this. Okay.
19, yeah.
Do you have any horses that are of, shall we say, steadier temperament than others?
Well, not a horse per se, but got this goat. Not the fastest thing ever, but keeps going.
Do you also have, perchance, a place where I can purchase gunpowder?
Nope.
This is a shame. I dare say I might take the goat.
I will say, you do, if you want to go for the goat, you can. I will also say your choices here were, there's some cheetahs in one of the pens kept away from the horses and the goat, but there are so cheetahs, horse, and goat. Do you want to go with the goat?
I'm going again, just because, like I said, Luke's not particularly smart. Luke, why?
Amazing.
He's gonna go for actually, so are we would it be 2 animals or just 1?
I think if it's I think it will just be this singular goat.
Okay, so he picks the goat.
Okay. I am going to need you to roll animal handling real quick, please.
Oh, Jesus. This is not going to go well. Let me just double check to see if Floof somehow has, really great animal handling.
Unless you fucking crit fail this, it's fine. It's okay. Good news is you actually got the exact number needed. to correctly animal handle the goat. Okay. With that, you get given the goat. It's on a rope. It kind of tries to eat at your fur a bit, but it seems pretty amenable to just kind of going wherever you're pulling it. Yeah, sure, whatever.
Hey, you asked for stable, you got stable.
Have such plans for this goat.
Imagine seeing the goat is wearing like a costume. The first thing that popped in my head, the goat was like wearing like a racetrack suit. Like it's ready to run.
Well, I mean, like, it's not wearing that yet, but you guys haven't gotten to, the building and customization stage of things. You get to, slap, because now that you've got all the pieces, it's time to assemble your cart. And you guys also get to put, whatever paint and fanciness on it that you want to. In order to assemble, I'm going to need one of you to roll a dexterity check, one of you to roll... one of you to roll strength and one of you to roll intelligence.
I can roll intelligence. Loccan's got book smarts.
Danny, try to roll strength.
Okay.
This will be interesting. So this is you pulling all your stuff together, slapping it together. If your characters want to do conversation while you are building your cart, now is a good time.
Daddy's like, hey, did you ask him where he could get a personal watermelon? or a bowling ball?
I didn't go looking for those, no.
Okay.
Somehow this town does not have any gunfire, and I am very, very disappointed.
It's awfully disappointing.
Loccan's just gonna keep quiet and hide his arm. He's gonna hide his little ammo pouch from Floofty, because he does have some, little gunpowder in there. He's just not sharing.
I mean, unless you want to go, setting the goat on fire, I guess.
I don't think we want to do the goat sacrifice yet.
Oh gosh. Oh, sacrifice. I just got it.
Goat. I think that's why Floofty chose the goat, is sacrifice.
No.
Okay. Well, I will give you guys some good news. As you are putting together your cart, you guys really get the hang of it. So, you know what you're doing. Floof, you maybe get a little bit distracted with the goat. But both Loccan and Danny, you know what you're about. Danny, especially with that nat 20. So you guys have no trouble at all putting your cart together. You know it's really sturdy, and you reckon you've probably even made it kind of better than the sum of its parts. Who knows?
I'd say that's a pretty good job, wouldn't you say, Potson? Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good job.
It's a fine chariot. And if you guys look, there are lit torches tied to this poor goat.
Then hold on for 2 seconds. He goes over. He puts a fireman suit on the goat. There.
All right.
Wow, it's perfect.
The flames makes it go faster.
Yeah, I don't think the flames are gonna. This might actually weigh him down, so we might want to think about just taking. We could paint a torch on him. If that works.
What if I tied them to his horns?
It might impair vision, especially if the rope breaks and it hangs down in front of his face.
I will say it's a very chill goat.
Yeah, he won't be for long if he catches on fire.
True.
That is kind of the opposite of chill, is heated.
Yeah.
Sort of reluctantly takes the fire off the goat and puts the torches in his back pocket for later.
For later.
All right, so I've got to ask, other than the torches attached to everything, What sort of paint job have you given your cart? What aesthetic are you guys going for?
Well, Loccan has been kind of like looking it over, maybe painting like some like. I think he's kind of gone for like a sort of like streaking look where it's like a lot of horizontal stripes at sort of mismatched lengths to kind of seem like it's already going fast.
I love that.
He was idly painting them, and he ended up painting a bunch of dragons on his wheels and on parts of the cart. Oops.
I love this. I love this. All right, final thing. Once you've got your cart all made up, did you want to head back to the announcer tent to properly sign up and everything?
Yeah, let's go do that.
All right, you head back towards Blello Bello. Oh, Dunham and Bello Blello. I can't remember which way around I put his fucking name. But you head back to the announcer. They're like, oh yes, a fine cart if ever I did see one. So, what team name are you signing up under? I will give you guys can pick any team name you like. It can be whatever ridiculous nonsense that you want. I will say that the various other teams are like the Rouge Rouges, Blue Zoomers, Green Meanies, Amber Angels, and the Pink Panthers.
Yeah.
So you are welcome to follow along in that theme or come up with something ridiculous. Up to you guys.
We're the purple wildfires. Why did I say that?
I mean, I can't think of anything much better, so I'll
The
take it.
flames of perdition!
I mean, you've got a bit of a fire theme going with the dragons and the stripes and whatnot. Can't say it's a bad one. Is that what you want to go with?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go for that.
Flames of perdition. It fucking is, I guess.
The purple flames of perdition.
Okay. Purple flames of perdition. Astounding. And with that, you push your cart and get it settled up next to the race line. This is your last chance to either back out or do something else or make any little changes, because everyone else is like obviously like champing at the bit ready to go here.
Loccan is currently affixing pots into the front of the carriage as a hood ornament.
Wonderful.
Beautiful.
Store nearby?
Sorry?
Is there a store nearby?
There doesn't seem
just pop in there.
No, doesn't seem to be a store, sadly.
Oh, okay. Right. Wait, he's like, wait, who? Are we both driving, or is one of us gonna steer? Or all three of us? Are three of us doing steering?
Loccan does have proficiency in land vehicles, so he might be designated driver.
All right. Enough.
I will say, when you were looking around at the other teams, they tend to be 2s, 3s, and the Green Meanies is like a team of 4. It all looks like, one person's driving, and then the other people in the team seem to have various weapons and items of sorts, and they look pretty ready to stab the other teams, which may be the reason that they're doing it in teams instead of just a single person in the cart.
Well, it's a good thing we've got somebody else willing to set them all on fire.
That is true.
The non-believers shall burn!
Not sure how comfortable I am being on a team with you anymore.
Just ignore it. Once we're off this carriage, hopefully we won't be the ones burnt.
And here we go. 6 teams, 6 carts, but only one winner. Racers, are you ready? The crowd roars. Get set. The crowd
Loccan's
roars.
drumming his fingers on the steering wheel.
The crowd
Daddy
roars.
was like, oh, wait, I think I'm having second thought.
And can I get you guys to roll initiative? Who out of you guys has the, actually no, considering Eve specifically gone, it's Loccan driving. I'm gonna get just Loccan to roll initiative, please.
All right.
I'm just gonna make these guys all do it at the same time.
Oh, I forgot his initiative was.
That's okay.
Oh, that's not bad.
18's not bad. Okay, let me get this in order, and then we start this absolute hell. I made my life easier by going, this is not actually going to be a very windy racetrack, it is just more or less a straight line. You guys are going to be going down the canyon. You guys don't know what the fuck else this race entails because none of you really asked. But it's basically just gonna be go. And first off the track are the green meanies. So green gets going, but they don't get going very far considering how much of a utter tank they are. They only actually manage to get like about 10 feet going, even if they are first up. Next up is the Amber Angels, and they get going a fair chunk faster and managed to make it a full 20 feet down the track within the first round. And next up is you guys. While you guys are actually all still together with everyone else, and considering the cart that you chose, you have a top speed of only 40 feet, thanks to that wonderful goat. And you've got an acceleration of taking 3 turns to get to that top speed. So you're actually only going to get like a total of 13 feet past the opening thing on your first go. Is there anything you want to do to like the carts around you? Because you're sitting more or less right next to the green meanies. Do you want to do anything while you've got the chance?
Loccan's focusing pretty hard on the road right now, so.
Dad? Oh, he's wondering if he's able to use a weapon, could he use said weapons on the wheels of the other carts?
If you want to.
Okay.
There's certainly nothing stopping you.
It would eliminate some challengers. Like, though he feels bad about it because he kind of feels like he's playing dirty. But
well, if you've got everyone else waving around weapons, so like worth a shot, right?
He was raised by villains, so that's like the first thing that came to mind.
All right, in that case, yeah, make your attack roll with whatever weapon you're using.
Crossbow.
Nice.
So that's the D20 plus the attack.
Yep. Now, I will note that this is against the green one, which is basically a tank in terms of how it looks as being built as a cart. So even if you do hit, it's not going to deal heaps of damage, but this is worth a shot.
Try this.
Oof. With an 11, your arrow blinks off the green cart's like armor plating, and you can hear one of those team members inside going yeah yeah yeah. Danny, you actually still have a chance to do something if you want to. Otherwise, we will continue down the path.
He still do something? All right.
Oh wait, no, it was no, wait. Danny,
Or
you're the
is it,
one that shot the
Floof?
arrow, didn't you?
Yes. Is it Floof?
Sorry, yeah, I meant to say Floof. I'm so sorry. I'm having a bad time actually telling you two apart when I'm not actively staring at the little light up icons. Sorry.
It's okay, man. Okay, let me double check to see which spell I want to use. Okay, I am going to cast Firebolt on the green meanies.
Nice. Do they need to roll to dodge, or do you need to roll to attack?
Yeah, I need to do an attack roll.
Yeah,
make just a straight d20.
Yeah. That's an 18. That will hit. Can I get you to roll damage? The amount of damage it will deal will not be quite the same because carts work differently, but you will be dealing some damage to this. Okay, that's not very much, so I'm only gonna take off about Alright, yeah, your fireball hits squarely in the center of this cart, and you can see the fire whoosh, blowing over it as the team members have to duck inside to avoid being burned themselves. And while the cart does look a little bit scorched around the edges now, it doesn't look like you've managed to deal significant damage to this one, considering how heavily armored it was. And with that, we continue down initiative. This entire game's going to mostly be an initiative. I'm sorry, guys.
I'm cool with it.
The blue zoomers take off like a fucking shot, considering they have very little, they have very quick acceleration, and they are just, like, pretty much instantly, while they're going behind you, they're, like, behind you, and they were 45 feet in front of you, because they've just gone whoosh. Next up is the Pink Panther, which is a little bit slower, not super fast. It seems to be kind of like taking his time, and is more or less even with the green tank that you guys are just in front of. Next up is the Rouge Rogues. That's a fucking tongue twister. Why did I do that to myself? And they are also off super duper quickly, and they're already 30 feet past the starting line, and we're back to the top of initiative. The tank advances forwards bit by fucking bit, and it is now at 30 feet. The tank is also, I think, as it goes, it's gonna take a quick swipe at you. One of its team members are gonna take a swipe at your tank, at your carriage as they go past, and it does not hit. Next up are the Amber Angels, who are well and truly getting ahead of you guys. They're already at 50 feet. And up next, it's you guys once more. You can now get to a total of you're now 40 feet. So you're only you're about 10 feet behind the Angels and 10 feet in front of the tank.
Alright, so we're behind the Angels, right?
Yeah.
Because Loccan's, like, looking in front of him, and because they're in front of him, he's thinking, I might be able to get a shot off on the Angels.
Ooh, do you want to have a go?
Yeah, let me just remember how these attacks work again.
Because, like, you can absolutely make this attack, but I will note, seeing as you are specifically the driver at this point in time, you are going to need to make a handling roll to see how well you can continue to drive while also making this attack. So do the attack first, and then we'll worry about keeping the cart under control afterwards.
Alright. So... he's going to use his... I don't know if we're using, like, action economy for this, but I'm kind of considering it like a single turn.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to use bonus action to use to do Hexblade's Curse on the Angels to kind of lock on target.
That was terrible.
Well, actually, no, wait. How far ahead are they?
10 feet.
They're 10 feet ahead? Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah, you guys are all, like, still within everyone super close because you're only just off the starting line here.
Perfect. And I've also infused my dart projectiles with the Hexblade Warrior buff. So it uses Charisma instead of Strength or Dex. So Loccan is going to... Okay, yeah. So Loccan is going to try and shoot at the car ahead of him.
Okay. So, roll to attack.
charisma.
Ooh, only a 9. Sadly, it glances off the feathery decals of the angel's cart, and it does not hit. Next up is the blue zoomers, who are, again, they're going to just completely take off, and they're already
do I still need the handling roll?
Oh yeah, shit, yeah, you do. Roll me a d20 plus 5, because those are the wheels you chose, and you get, that's your handling bonus.
A plus 5.
Yep.
Would I add Loccan's land vehicle proficiency to that?
Yes, you would.
Alright, so it's plus 8 then.
Okay, thankfully with a 19, yeah, you easily manage to keep control of the card even as you make your attack. I was actually, and I realized before I continue, just going to hit rewind for a minute and just pull the blue carriage back to where it was at only 45 feet, which is actually, I realized, right next to you guys. You can... Yeah, I was gonna... Danny and Floof, did you guys want to do anything real quick? I'm basically making it so that, I will handle the movement, but each of you guys do get an action on your turn.
You go first.
Just was there any of the carts right next to them?
Yeah, you guys actually, the closest, you've got a couple of them right next to you. You've got, the green cart and the red cart 10 feet behind you, and then you've got the yellow cart 10 feet ahead of you. What were you planning?
Well, Daddy could try shooting at the wheels again of the one in front of him, but he's also thinking, if there's people right next to them, he could get an even better shot in.
No, I think at this point in time, 10 feet is as close as things get.
Okay, so he'll try to take out the wheels of the angels.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was a. So he's gonna use this crossbow again.
Yep.
His handy dandy crossbow.
I will also say you guys are absolutely welcome to flavor any attacks you want to do or any equipment, because again, you're in a canyon, it's kind of a desert, it's more or less, that's a 26. Yes, that definitely hits. Please roll damage.
Okay.
But yeah, you guys are welcome to flavor any attacks or anything that you're doing with the whole, hey, there's a canyon around you. You want to cause a rock slide? Go ahead. I am going to be giving you guys bonuses as the race continues. But for now, that's alright. So that was all 8 damage from an arrow. That's not going to deal heaps, but the angels do not actually have heaps of health. Alright, yeah, the arrow sticks. You somehow managed to get this arrow to stick right into where one of the wheels are attached on the Amber Angels' cart, and they kind of hit a chunk and they seem to slow down a little bit, so they're not going to be able to get to their top speed next turn, and they do actually take a little damage because that wheel looks like it's wobbling about. Next up were the blue zoomers, who are already at, I made your speed way too fast. I'm going to just dial you back a tiny bit so I don't break the fucking game. Alright, yeah, the blue zoomers had just kind of left everyone in their wake already. They're already at 160 feet, and in that case, I actually need to make a d10 roll real quick because they get a thing, which is their first, which means that's a d10. Thank you for being patient. Can get those 7. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay.
Oh dear.
Can I get, I'm gonna say, are all 3 of you watching the road ahead, or is only Loccan doing that because he's driving?
I would
Say
say
Floof has his eyes set on the most flammable cart nearby, which would probably be the Amber Angels.
Okay, yeah. Alright, in that case.
since Danny was aiming for. Oh.
I was going, Danny, I think considering, you were making an attack, you're also focusing on the angels. Loccan, can I please get a perception check from you?
Yeah.
A 19, and this is why you keep your eyes on the road, kids, because as you watch this other cart has just gotten so far ahead of you. You guys are far from being at the back of the group or anything, but you are a little bit crowded. There's already a bit of dust flowing into the air. But Loccan, your eyes immediately zero into this chunk of red, something a little bit sparky that's kind of just chucked out of the back of the blue carriage ahead of you, and is now just kind of lying there on the road, that little sizzle of sparks there. And with a 19, you can tell that seems to be a bundle of sticks of TNT.
Ah, dynamite!
And with that, we continue down the initiative. TNT, one sec. Let's put those there. Next up is Pink Panther. Pink Panthers are advancing at their slow pace. He's just kind of going, having a good time. You can hear some jazz music in the background as we switch to him. Next up is the Rouge Rogues, who might have finally gotten to their max speed, and whoosh, there they go. And they're only a tiny bit behind that. So next up, Green Meanies. Thank you for everyone being patient as these guys, bit by bit, inch fucking forwards. They are now at 60 feet, and as they go past, they're actually going to take a quick swing at the angels, because they're a bunch of fucking meanies. They do not hit the angels. The angels have angelic fucking luck, I guess. And they get up to 70 feet, and you guys continue onwards, still at full speed. Did you want to slow down at all, or did you want to continue going full speed? You are still well and truly a while off from hitting that chunk of TNT in the road ahead of you.
Yeah, I think we're gonna keep going.
All right. In that case, you are now 80 feet past the starting line. You are actually in, you're in fourth place at the moment. The Blue Zoomers are well ahead of everyone else. The Rouge Rogues are in second place. And, no, I lied. You guys are in third place. Yeah. You have got the, Angels are 10 feet behind you. And then the Green Meanies are 20 feet behind you, and then you've got the Rouge Rogues 20 feet ahead of you. So you're not quite, you're starting to get out of that mush of carts that was at the very beginning.
Alright, well, Loccan's kind of regretting his decision to lock onto the angels now that they're behind him. So there goes that, but for now he's just going to keep focusing, and he sees the dynamite in on the road, and he's gonna try and blast it away from the road. He's going to take a big risk and literally try to shoot it off the road with an Eldritch Blast.
Oh dear, I mean...
He does have the Eldritch Invocation of Repelling Blast, so it's listed as pushing a creature 10 feet when you cast Eldritch Blast. I don't know if that applies to sticks of dynamite, but for rule of funny, I'm kind of hoping it does.
Yeah, I'm going to say that this does, yeah. So are you just trying to push it out of the way?
Pretty much. He's just kind of blasting it to the side to kind of get it out of the way of the car.
Yep. I will note, up ahead of you and basically right about to hit the dynamite is the red cart, because that's at 100 feet and the dynamite is located at 110 feet.
Oh, that changes things. That changes things a lot, because so the dynamite's at 110, the red guys are at 100, and the blue zoomers are way ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. You know what I could do? I could do something even worse. I'm going to use Eldritch Blast on the red team and knock them 10 feet forward into the dynamite.
I go ahead, yes, please. That's fucking wonderful. Do you need to roll here?
It's a ranged spell attack.
So yeah, you will.
And it's 2 beams. I don't know if that means they take. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the first one doesn't quite hit, but yeah, if you roll again for the second beam, like, we'll see if that one does.
Attack roll for each beam. Wow. Okay.
Oof. Okay.
Oh wait. You know what I'm gonna do?
Yep.
Inspiration.
Ooh, yes. So you want to use that, like, instant nat 20? Happily, yes.
Yes. So, like, just use that nat 20 to knock them forward. They take d10 of damage, of force damage, and then they're also pushed. So they take 2 force damage, not that bad, but then they're also forced 10 feet ahead directly into the dynamite.
Yes, fucking perfect. Oh god, did I write down the fucking damage here? Now, yes, I did. And the good news is you guys are actually far enough. Ooh, are you? You guys are just far enough back that when this TNT goes off, and I mean just, you can feel the waves of fire flickering over your face, and you're lucky I'm not sticking quite exactly to the rules I set out for this, because when that TNT blows up, the red carriage just goes, and you can see it flip into the air, flip around another side, and go crash. And it lands pretty fucking hard, and it has taken a massive chunk of damage. And it has slowed down a fair bit now. It should be able to pick up speed again. It hadn't stopped completely when it blew up, but it's not looking good. Yeah. Congrats.
I think our team name fits better now.
He has like the most, like the happiest you've ever seen him. He's just so happy.
It's so good.
Like rapturous joy.
Okay, I'm gonna start keeping a little note of what teams are where, just so you guys can keep up to date of where you are, where everybody is. Did I miss out? No, that's everyone? Yep, okay. Why is that 12 there? So, yeah, that was Loccan doing. Considering you cast a spell, I am going to need another handling roll from you, which is the +5 plus your vehicle proficiency. 14. You obviously, with the flames going by, you do struggle a little bit to keep control of your cart, because the fucking blast wave from that was huge. Thankfully, you do manage to keep control and you don't spin out or anything, but your little goat does seem a little bit frazzled at the end of its hair.
Good thing I had the torches to him. That made it worse.
Floof and Danny, do you guys want to do anything after witnessing that?
Floof is definitely going to set something on fire.
Please do.
So which carts are closest to us right now?
Closest ones are going to be the angels, who are 10 feet behind.
Okay. Yeah, I guess Floof's going to try to set that one on fire. It is the most flammable.
Yeah. I also, sadly, an 8 does not hit and your fireball goes wide.
He's just too excited by the huge explosion he just witnessed.
That's amazing. I will also just strongly note, you guys want to gonna do something about the blue zoomers sometime soon, considering they are twice as far ahead as you guys. They don't seem to be stopping.
I've got an idea, but it's a very dangerous one.
Ooh, I can't wait to see how that goes next turn. But Danny, did you want to do anything real quick?
Yeah, sorry, my microphone cut out for like a couple seconds, so I
no problem.
couldn't hear the last conversation. But okay, so he's thinking. Well, he saw the explosion, like, wow, that was actually pretty cool as he drove past. But he's now thinking, like, okay, he could try and take out the people in the front. So he's gonna just do a repeat of his last turn. Try to shoot the wheels.
All right, who are you shooting? Because you have got if you're shooting in front of you, you've got the Rouge Rogues who are 30 feet in front of you. Or if you can shoot that far, the Blue Zoomers are 80 feet in front of you.
He'll go for the one close, the Blue Zoomers.
The Blue Zoomers? Okay, further away. That's going to be a hell of a shot. Please make it.
He'll give it a shot. No pun intended.
You absolutely intended that pun. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you're right, I did.
Oof. Sadly, a 10 is not quite enough, even from this distance. Actually, it's probably that distance was enough to put it off, and your arrow flies wide and thuds into the ground, just next to the cart, and you can see like the dust being kicked up from it and hiding the arrow straight away. So no chance of recovering that, sadly. That means all three of you are done a thing, which means time to continue, and holy hells, the Blue Zoomers are just absolutely out there, and they get yet another thing. Place. Why are they getting all the good rolls? They don't deserve the good rolls. Oh dear.
Don't worry, I still have my plan if they're really being bothersome.
Yeah, I'm just really, because they got a thing that is gonna make them even fucking faster. Okay, let me write that.
They are the Zoomers.
Yep, that is true. I should have fucking expected this. What am I gonna... which means you kind of see them. They seem to kind of like a little bit of a magical glow around them for a moment, and then zoof, they zoom ahead like an extra 10 feet. So they're now at 250 feet. The Pink Panther continues along, just kind of meandering, having a good time, well behind everybody else. And now at 60 feet, like well at the back of the pack. Actually, no. The Pink Panther has now pulled alongside the green meanies, and just if you look behind you, can see it's like, I wasn't wearing a hat before, wearing a hat now solely so he can tip it at the green tank as they go past. Then we have the Rouge Rogues, who are not too happy about what just happened to them, and they do get to go again reasonably quickly, so they can pick up speed again quite easily. They're now at 140 feet. And they're going to... Can I get another perception check, Loccan, please?
Well,
Oof, that's not enough, sadly. So they're there, and up to the green meanies, who are slowly but surely still picking up speed. Which means you're now at 100. So the green meanies start zooming past you, and again, they've got it out for the angels, so they're going to take yet another swing at them. They absolutely hit this time. Okay, I'm gonna just call that. Ugh, they don't manage to hit the angels very hard, but the angels do definitely take that hit. And you can hear the crunch of wood breaking behind you. Thankfully, the angels can easily pick up speed yet again and go flying ahead. And they actually duck past you guys, and one of them is actually going to toss an arrow your way as well. And that's gonna hit you guys. I'm real sorry. Yeah, the angel thunks into the side of your cart. It doesn't seem to do much damage, but you can hear like one of your wheels rattling around a little bit looser than it did before. And however, it is your go. You guys are at full speed, and you can easily pull up, not quite even with them, but you are close. Let me get you the exact distances and everything again.
Charts.
Yeah, just so it's easier for everyone. Where's everyone updated to? You've got 100, 130, 120, 100, 130. Well, again, why did I do something when I am someone that does better just by going ahead and not like ad-libbing shit? Why did I do something that was nothing but fucking numbers? 60 and... You know what I just realized I forgot to do as I was doing this? Before you guys go, the Amber Angels, as they are pulling just to the end of their turn, they didn't spot something. And you guys actually, because it's the end of your turn, you guys are actually still technically at 80 feet there, not 120 like I put there. And you watch the angels smack bang into yet another chunk of TNT that the rogues dropped, that the red carrot dropped behind them because it managed to pick up one of those. And the angels get blown up. They take a bunch of damage. The angels' cart is not looking good. It's like not in ruins yet, but if a cart could be mechanically bloodied. They get knocked back, and because there's a couple of other carts that are actually also within that range, they're also going to get blown up. The bad news is the rogues didn't manage to get far enough away in time for them to not take any damage, so their cart looks like it's on its last legs. And the... And the green meanies, who are kind of only just on the edge of things, their tank also does get hit. Comes through without barely any damage, but it did get hit there. And yep, you guys are up. You just saw this massive explosion in front of you that you only just missed.
All right. So, looking ahead, we've got the Zoomers way out in front, a whole 130 feet ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Loccan is realizing that the blue Zoomers are at a far distance and could be incredibly dangerous, like in terms of winning the race.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's going to give a quick warning to the rest of the group. Don't look. And he is going to grab like a random piece of raw calamari out of his ammo stock, shove it in his mouth, and fire off a Hunger of Hadar way up 150 feet ahead.
Yes! Okay.
At the blue Zoomers. So, you know, let's just toss a random pocket of eldritch space onto the racetrack. That'll be fun.
That'll be fun. Okay, like they will gotta go running into that on their next turn, so you can tell me about what happens then. I'll take
a screenshot so we can have it for easy reference.
Perfect,
it's
wonderful.
A few things.
I will note, as you are doing this, and as you start getting far away, you can hear this whole like tinkle, 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 shining tinkles appearing in the cart, like coming from just behind you in the cart. And Danny, Floof, as you guys look, you actually notice something has materialized in the cart just in front of you. And you guys are currently 1, 2, 3. You're in 4th place, so alright, yeah, you guys appear like this little wooden wand that seems to be kind of pulsing with power. I don't suppose either of you could roll Arcane to try and figure out what this is?
Jack.
I could try and cast the Arcana.
Yeah, just roll Arcana, yeah.
Okay.
And then don't mind me while I do this. Okay, Danny, with that 15, you kind of look at this and you give it a poke and you go like, hey, this is some sort of prize. It feels kind of like it's got a couple of charges of magic missile in it, maybe. So yeah, you've picked up this wand. It has got some sort of power in it. It is up to you what you want to do with it.
Can it be used to either make the cart go faster or to take out another one?
From what you know, like from that 15, from what you know of Magic Missile is it's very much an attack sort of spell. You kind of lob it at people and it definitely always hits. And it doesn't deal heaps of damage, but it does deal some damage. It's got a pretty big range on it as well.
Okay. And he looks at the Floof is like, what do you think? But he wants to get the opinion of others first before he decides to use it for his
that's fair.
His own plan.
At this point, I don't care what tactics we use, as long as it works.
I dare say it could make an excellent bit of kindling for the fire.
Not
the max competitive mode right now.
Should we use it on one of these carts around us? Let's see who's in front of us again?
All right.
Directly in front. Okay, so directly in front of us are the Rouge Rogues and the Amber Angels.
Okay.
So those would be the targets you'd want to go for if you're aiming forward.
Going to aim for the Rouge Rogues.
Alrighty.
Do I have to...
You don't have to roll anything. All you do is kind of like, I'm guessing you're a bit cautious because you're not sure what this does, but you point the wand in the general direction of where like the Rouge Rogues are, like the red cart. You kind of like, you know that cart's already looking pretty rickety, so it doesn't hurt to try the spell out. You point the wand and a single magic missile comes shooting out of it and crashes into the red cart, which, considering it was on its last legs, completely falls to bits. Well done, you have eliminated the rogues from the race as their cart falls to pieces, and the 3 rogues that were packed inside it just kind of go tumble into the dust and flop there. So, 1 cart down, 4 to go, I guess.
This is turning into a destruction derby.
I mean, pretty much. You also can kind of feel, Danny, as you're still holding the wand, it feels like it maybe has a couple more charges in it, though you're not sure how many. Floof, did you want to do anything?
I think he's going to summon his spiritual weapon.
Ooh. Do tell.
Yeah, so... how close are the Amber Angels right now?
They are currently only 10 feet in front of you.
Okay, so he's going to summon it right about there, because it's got a range of 60 feet.
Mm-hmm.
It's a melee spell attack.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it looks like a ball lightning.
Nice. Just gonna take out the angels and slowly make your way to first place.
The nice thing about this is that it's probably going to stick around for a bit, so I can just wrecking ball a bunch of people.
Is he gonna ride it like a wrecking ball? Came in like a wrecking ball?
Jeez.
That would be amazing.
In my head, I've gotten this like visual image of like, you know how in like a scrolling shooter for like the NES, you just get a circle orbiting your ship as a shield. That's what I'm seeing from this.
That's so cool though, except it's fucking ball lightning, and yeah, with a 16, that's gonna hit. Roll me damage. Okay, 4 damage, that's not a massive amount of damage. So it's sadly not going to deal much damage, but this thing is definitely going to frighten the angels a fair bit. And I'm actually going to make them roll a quick handling check just to see if they don't spiral out of control here. No, this wouldn't be handling, this would be animal handling. To make sure that their horses don't get spooked by it. That's meant to be +3, but either way, thankfully, well, sadly, they managed to get their horses in line, so even though the horses kind of buck up and go, sort of thing, the car riders actually pull them back together and they can continue onwards. However, they have taken some damage in their cart. It's not looking great. It's really not looking great at this point. And that's all 3 of you have done a thing, which means it's time to continue. And gods, I hate the blue zoomers. I made a fucking mistake with them. I can't take it back now.
They're about to go into Eldritch Monstrosityville.
That is very true. Do you want to tell me what happens? I know you posted the thing, but I like hearing it.
So, a large, 40-foot wide sphere opens up just in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
So they immediately drive into it, and it is solid black, freezing cold. It is they are blinded within it, and it is also difficult terrain. So already they're going to have a bad time.
Oof.
But they're just on the edge of it as it starts. So at the start of their turn, they take 2d6 cold damage from just how cold it is.
Ooh. Oh, and you roll pretty high on that. Yep, continue.
And unless they can manage to make it out of this 40-foot sphere, if they end in there, they take another 2d6. If they don't make it out of there, they gotta make a dex saving throw or take another 2d6 acid damage.
Well, I will say, considering how fast they go, they have a normal speed of 80 feet per round, and they do actually have a bonus at the moment, so they would make it out of there normally. However, considering it's freezing, and they have no idea what's going on here,
they're blinded, it's difficult terrain, it's very cold.
Yeah, so they're going to actually have to do a handling check considering the difficult terrain, and they're going to be at disadvantage for that. Oh dear, yeah, glad I'm getting them fucking disadvantage for that. What the fuck?
Wow,
okay, so they somehow, they do manage to make it over the difficult terrain. However, the animals actually powering their cart aren't horses. They've got a pair of cheetahs pulling them along, and cheetahs are very skittish and nervous creatures. So let's see how well they do in terms of animal handling. They do not do well enough for animal handling, not by a long way. So while they manage to keep control over their cart, the cheetahs are trying to go in different directions and pull the blue zoomers to the side. And I'm just going to quickly do a straight up fucking luck roll here to see how bad this goes. That's a 7. Okay, they have real bad luck. The cheetahs panic. One tries to go in one direction, one tries to go in another direction. The cart almost gets ripped in two. The cheetahs realize, wait, no, we can't because we're kind of roped together. Quick, let's both go this way. Turn the cart to the side. The people actually in the cart are frantically trying to hold on. Thankfully, they don't fall apart, but that may also be a bad thing because the cheetahs then immediately run into the wall, dart to the side. The cart doesn't manage to turn in time and slam. And the cart, being as it was made to go fast. It was made to go really fast. You know what it didn't have much of? Health. So well done. You have successfully eliminated the blue zoomers with your hunger of Radda. Well done.
It's a good thing that, like, breaking concentration is a free action, because after Loccan sees them, like, smashing to bits, he's like, okay, we don't need this anymore because we don't want to run into that.
A wise move. Okay, so that gets taken out. Gets to skip their turn. Next up on the turn order is the Pink Panthers, who have finally made it up. Well, they finally made it to top speed. They are now at 100 feet. They're taking their sweet time. If they've got to 100 feet and they are in last place, which means that's going to be... moment. Thank you for being patient while I roll my fucking thousands of dice. They get a 9. Okay, what did they just pick up? Okay, so the Pink Panther is now fucking invincible for the next couple of rounds. I know I don't technically need to be telling you that, but just like they've now got like this floating little shield hovering around the outside of their cart, and the Panther just kind of and they're all shiny and everything.
They are the most confident cart, and they deserve that confidence.
Yeah, pretty much. Alright, so that's them going. The Green Meanies also have finally made it up to their top fucking speed, which means they can now get all the way to 150 feet, and again, they don't like the Angels. They've got a real thing about the Angels, but you know who they hate more? Especially considering that they've just seen you guys take down 2 other cars. They're gonna have a swing at you. They hit. Okay. Let's just... I send forward. Just do 2 damage. Oof. Your cart takes a pretty fucking massive whack as one of the Green Meanies leans out of their, cart and just... woof, with this giant club, and you can hear wood crunching. Your cart is thankfully really fucking well made, thanks to the rolls you got earlier, but like, hey, those will you put effort into that paint job. He scratched the paint.
Not the paint.
No, and they end their turn there. Next up is the Angels, who are gonna make it all the way to 210 feet, and they're now in first place, so they're gonna get a thing. D10 -2. 4. They do not get very much. Oh wait, no, they actually get to go extra because they had that power up. Again, thank you everyone for being so patient while I fuck about with 20,000 different numbers and sheets. This would be easier if I had it on paper. You get that again, basically. Okay, cool. Alright, next up is you guys. You are going at full speed. There is nothing ahead of you to crash into, which means you guys are now at 160 feet, and let me give you the updated list of where everyone is. Oh dear, where the fuck was it? I need to scroll back up. So I gotta say, while you guys are actually in this carriage, are you guys, like, as characters talking at all while this fucking chaos is going on?
I mean, Loccan's kind of been seeing just how many explosions have been going on, and he's kind of being quiet. He doesn't quite have the focus at the moment to be spewing one-liners, because in the meantime he's been spewing bullets and eldritch blasts and eldritch holes, so he doesn't really have much room to talk.
Nope, entirely valid and fair.
Floof is probably just chanting "Fire for the Fire God" over and over underneath his breath as he's like directing the ball lightning around. He's having a great time.
I'm so glad. I am so glad.
He's second guessing all the decisions that led up to this point, and however, he's at the moment. He's also quite upset that his card got damaged. He did put a lot of effort into that, and he's checking it over, trying to make sure that, he's checking over the cart, making sure that, nothing's gotten too loose, or if he's got to try to pull something back together. he's trying to make sure that they're actually gonna like try and stay in one piece for as long as they could.
No?
And he's even considering like sticking a band-aid on it.
That's actually a really good idea. If you want, do you have like any proficiency in like woodworking or mending or anything like that?
Where would you find that in proficiency?
Yeah. This isn't under like skills exactly, but I think this is a good idea, and if you can roll well enough here, I will actually let you do some repairs to your cart.
No. And what was the other one?
It was it was mostly this woodworking, or I was like, do you have like the mending cantrip maybe? Because I know rangers do get some spells, but not very many.
Spells. No, I don't think he has anything that's gonna help fix the cart. He has a cure wounds and he has some bandages on him.
Okay, in that case, just give me a straight d20 roll to see how well you go, how much you can manage to fix this up and repair what you can. So, like, you still get to make it, you just don't get any bonuses, sadly.
So, okay, it's a d20.
A 10. Okay, well, good news is you didn't do any extra damage. Because that was always also a potential. But yeah, no, you, considering everything's on the move, everyone's jolting about, you have no idea what you really can do to fix up the cart as it is. I will give you, though, with that 10, you look around and you can kind of go, the cart's not that damaged, it's mostly surface stuff and the wheel hanging a teeny bit loose. This is nothing that's gonna go making everything fall apart. Radda, Loccan, Floof, do you guys want to do anything while it's your guys' go?
I think I'm probably going to slam the spiritual weapon back into the angels, if that's okay.
Absolutely. If it's still within it still would be within distance. Go ahead, roll damage, roll to attack again. I love the idea of just this yellow feathery cart being slammed into by ball lightning. It's great.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's a 22. Yeah, that hits. Please roll damage. Nice. Max damage. Okay. You looking at the angel's cart, it's not completely dead, but you know how like the red cart looked just before, you hit it with a single Magile missile and it fell apart? It's about on that sort of level. It's so rickety, it's barely holding together.
Well, then let's finish it off.
Did you want to do something, Loccan?
Loccan is still technically locked onto this car.
Yeah, that is true.
So he's gonna just load up another dart/bullet and try shooting at it again.
I love this. Yes, dirty 20. That hits. I'm not even going to make you roll damage because this thing had a grand total of like 1 health left. And do you want to describe to me how you blow up this cart?
So Loccan lifts up his hat, cocks the pull shutter on top of his head, and he's like, "See ya in heaven, you angels!" Bang!
What a terrible one-liner. Yeah, and this cart, as the bullet hits, you just watch one of the wheels splinter, and the cart drags onto one side. One of the teammates goes falling out. Thanks to everything being unbalanced, the cart just tumbles over, and then it's a wooden cart. It explodes anyway. Well done. And that's all 3 of you have had a go. There are only 3 carts left in this race. First up is the Pink Panthers, who has still got his invincible shield, so it's just got to kind of continue going up to 140 feet now, having a good time, going do. The green meanies are doing their best, but they're not having a great... Well, actually, they're only a tiny bit behind you, because... Oh, no, they're actually gonna get ahead of you here now, aren't they? Yeah. Okay, they pull past you as they are now up to their top speed. They managed to get all the way to there, but as they're going past, once again, taking a fucking swing at you with that club. That also hits. I'm sorry, guys. They are managing to deal a lot of damage to you. Again, your cart's still looking pretty sturdy, but you don't know if you'd want to reuse it after this race, maybe. And now that they're in first place, they're gonna need 10 minus 3. Why do they keep getting all the good ones? Well, like all the other carts are getting all the cool ones, and yeah, more TNT, great. They're going to immediately lob that out the back of their cart. So actually, Loccan, can you roll me perception again? Alright, yeah, thankfully you do notice the TNT sitting at 200 feet, and you will have a chance of driving around it as you pull up even to 200 feet at this go. Can you please give me a handling roll, which was the +5 plus your bonus? Yeah, that is enough that you handily steer around the TNT, and you draw up even with the green meanies, and you guys are now at equal first place, so yeah, it's gonna be -3. You get 4, which means in your cart you guys get a new little item materializing, and it is a carrot. It's a rather little glowy, shiny looking carrot, but it's just a carrot.
I know what we're gonna
get. The goat is hungry
after all this.
What if the goat's hungry?
Do you want to go giving it? You guys can all have your go. Sorry.
Tie it to a string, or sorry.
So no, you go. Yeah, you can tie it to a string if you want, but the goat already does seem to be going at max speed.
Oh, so this won't like make him go faster. So what if we feed it to him then?
I mean, you can if you want.
What
do you guys
see where this goes?
Let's do it.
Do it.
Do not light it on fire. It doesn't need to be cooked.
And if you are going to cook it, you may as well at least stuff it first, right?
Would it be better? Would it be better if it was cooked? Would it give it some sort of...
Oh no.
I don't think we have the time to cook it.
All right.
Oh no.
So we agree. Feed it to the goat.
Feed it to goat. It's doing an amazing job. It deserves a treat.
Kind of like leans out like really far. There you go.
Alright, you lean out and you feed the carrot to the goat, and the goat immediately slurps it up in the horrendous way that goats can just make food vanish so quickly sometimes. Like, God. And you can feel it just getting this...
goats are.
You could feel the goat getting this burst of energy, and whoosh, you zoom forward another 10 feet. So you have managed to pull ahead just of the green meanies. I will note you guys both Loccan and Floof can still do a thing if they want. I will also note you still have like the wand that has like some charges of magic missile on it.
Right.
I'm looking at like my cantrips and stuff. Let me check. Range.
I'm just going to wrecking ball these guys again.
I love it. Yep, that hits.
Keyboard's being weird for a second.
I love...
Yeah, that'll work.
I love Floof and just like, oh yes, I'm just going to attack everyone with this. That's a 5, which is sadly not very much damage. Obviously, this thing is just too heavily armored to be taking very much, but it does, like, you can see the lightning go crackling over the armor of the green meanies cart. Loccan, did you want to do anything?
I'm looking through my spells, and I don't think any of them would be effective here, especially with Loccan, doing his best to remain looking forward, and considering the green meanies are currently behind, I don't think any of this, he's going to turn his head to look at them. He's just going to keep focusing on the road.
Did you want to use the wand?
Actually, you know what? Because that's a homing attack, yeah, he's gonna, like, grab the wand really quickly and fire off a bolt that way.
Alright, you see a chunk of armor actually fall off the green meanies cart. It's still very heavily armored. It's got a lot of other chunks of armor, but it's starting to look like it's maybe a bit worn down. Next up, we continue on the cycle of who the fuck is where. The Pink Panther's invincible shield kind of lasts for the rest of this turn, and then fades off as it starts just like but they're still going. They're a fair chunk behind you. They're not really getting anywhere else. The green meanies manage to pull ahead of you as they go zooming ahead, and they do not reach out to try and hit you on their way past, because actually no, they do go past you, so yeah, they do. 5. That doesn't.
Danny would just love to just go back, like lean out as well to try to get them. Like, I'm sick of you.
Well,
sick of you trying to take a swing at my cart.
I mean, the good news is they miss, so that's the perfect opportunity for you to yell.
Kids always making shots at my cart. Oh god, I sound like my father.
And you guys have actually managed to pull up even with them as you get to the end of your start your turn. You zoom ahead, and let me catch everyone up to who the fuck is where. Both the green meanies and the purple flames of perdition are at 250 feet after the starting line, and the Pink Panthers are still just kind of wandering along back at 180. I will note, green meanies and purple flames of perdition, both of you are neck and neck and halfway through the course.
Oh boy.
Daddy's looking around like, all this fire and explosion reminds me of my family's last croquet game.
That sounds glorious.
It really wasn't.
You say croquet, that sounds more like cracombe.
No, croquet. With the little hammer and the balls. Except things got out of hand a little bit. There was some fire, some damage to the house. Wait,
I actually want to meet your family.
No, you really don't. They're dumb. They're a little crazy.
Just say, way. I do want to meet your family.
Oh dear. Believe me, you really don't. Anyway, back to the race. It's like, okay, so we have the green meanies right next to them. Okay, so can they take another shot at them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because Danny wants some revenge.
Bow and arrow or magic missile?
Paint job.
I will do the I guess the bow and arrow again, or the crossbow.
Yeah. All right. Roll to attack. I'm loving this, and I've got to say, I love little conversations you guys are having. You're doing such a good job. That hits. 22 hits. Yes, please roll damage. You will avenge the wonderful paint job that they ruined. Especially with an 8. Yep. Okay. Their cart is looking... Problem is, they're so fucking heavily armored. Good news is, you've now managed to chip off most of their armor, and they look about as, well put together as, your average cart. They're not too happy about that. Now that you can kind of see the people in the cart, they're looking kind of small and exposed at you, as like you're neck and neck. Loccan and Floof, what do you guys want to do?
So now that the armor is kind of being exposed on like the under the underside of the tank, Loccan, he might not be like, he might not want to take his eyes off the road, but he's a rubber hose, so he just he's going to cast Acid Splash. So he's kind of like shoving his gun barrel to the side while keeping his eyes forward.
Yes, he's just
and he's going to shoot an Acid Splash at like the exposed areas of the tank to try and whittle away at the weaker parts.
Absolutely.
So it's a dex saving throw.
Oh, that would actually just be handling then, and they actually have really fucking good handling. I'm sorry. An 18.
Yeah, that passes.
Okay,
which is a shame.
They swerve to the side and around this big boulder, and acid melts away that big rock instead. And then they go nya, at you guys to taunt you because sadly you missed.
That's what he gets for not actually looking where he's aiming.
Oh, that reminds me, you actually need to do a handling check as well, because I've forgotten to ask you about that the last couple of rounds.
He's doing fine.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Danny's like watching like spitting acid to take out the vulnerable parts. Reminds me of my ex-fiance.
Floof, how are you doing?
Floof is doing well. He's going to wrecking ball them again.
I mean, don't fix what ain't broke. 20, yep, that hits. A 5. Okay, yep. Sadly, you can only whittle. You're whittling away at this carriage bit by fucking bit. But sadly, again, you're having trouble dealing like big damage. And now that you've all gone, we continue onwards in the Pink Panthers. Edge forward again, and they manage to get all the way up to 220 feet. Yay! Which means they get an item. They're gonna get a thing. Oh, jeez.
Oh.
Okay, the first. Of course, the Pink Panthers fucking get this. All right. D. Okay. You guys just watch as the Pink Panther carrot. I mean, you don't watch because you're not looking behind you. You've kind of forgotten about this pink card all the way back there that you haven't really been paying attention to because it hasn't been any threat. However, as you guys are fighting against the green meanies and like having this all-out war, you just hear this pop, and about 100 feet in front of you, this pink carriage just appears. It is teleported out of thin air to 340 feet, and like as you kind of like looking ahead going, wait, what the fuck, this pink cat just leans out and like raises a little hat at you like, how's it going, and then goes back to driving along quite peacefully.
Beautiful.
This is amazing.
The green meanies instantly go like, what the fuck? I have no idea what was going on there, and they are going to go racing ahead to attempt to get at the Pink Panther, but they do not get far enough ahead. They are going to get a thing though. They do not get a very exciting thing. A 2 is okay, they get that. When that does, yeah, they get you guys can actually see one shot of magic missile come from the green meanies thing and just poof into the Pink Panther, who doesn't seem to care at all. This vehicle's in near perfect condition and that didn't really deal much damage, so that was no issue. You guys continue onwards and you are now 10 feet behind the green meanies, and let me get you that updated distance chart. But yeah, there you go, your turn. Yeah, but again, if you got a 10, if you somehow got a 10, that was just a straight up scroll of teleportation, car and all.
Gosh. Like, I said this in the Hazelnut Gallery, but I feel like saying it here. I was expecting them to kind of like come up from behind as like the ultimate underdog of the race that we should all be terrified of. I just didn't expect it to be a random event that you didn't even expect.
Yeah, pretty much. I knew someone was going to get it eventually. I didn't think it would be them. I didn't think it would be now.
I kind of expected them to pull out a blue shell at last second.
Well, no, because no one's rolled a 6 yet. Again, I have a chart of this stuff. I will say, as this is going on, and as you zoom ahead, you guys actually start to kind of feel like this slight crackling in the air. And give me a moment again. I've got to fucking find, I have so much stuff that's going on. If you want to do character chat while I fucking find this, go ahead, please do.
Of all the people in this race.
That was quite surprising.
Yeah. Daddy's just like looking over the damage that was caused to his cart. Still quite upset over that.
Alrighty. Yeah, as you guys had witnessed this little war going on with the Pink Panther just dawdling ahead, and the Green Meanie's going like, how fucking dare you, and you're coming up ahead, you actually feel just everything kind of shudder for a moment and then freeze solid as 3 tones just kind of go ding ding ding, and there is an announcement.
Attention all passengers. This is a railway service announcement. First of all, welcome aboard the Neverending train. For those who are new, yes, you heard that correctly, this is a train. It is a very large train with very unusual carriages, but it is a train nonetheless. To the rest of you who are already familiar with this, you may have noticed some technical difficulties, deficiencies, and all-around pickups, including, but not limited to, risk to life and limb, stress and strain to mental health, and a sore lack of abidance to railway standards. Owing to these failings, my friends and I, fellow passengers all, have taken the initiative and made our way to the engine. This was made possible by the emergency exits available for use in the centre of the ceiling of each carriage. I repeat, there is an escape hatch in the centre of each carriage's ceiling. It might be disguised under an illusion of some nice fluffy clouds, but trust me, it's there if you look. They can be a bit of a bugger to shift, but keep at it, I'm sure you'll manage. If any of you do attempt this, be careful not to fall in the process. It's a long way down, and I know this from personal experience. And also, once outside it is possible, you might encounter a giant multi-legged robot with laser vision and knives for hands, so keep an eye out for that. In the meanwhile, my esteemed colleagues and I will be attempting to rectify, or at least put a stop to, this train's more harmful shortcomings. Namely, that individual who is called Father. He is called Father. He appears not to be a passenger. I am unclear as to whether he created this train or merely the poor soul he abandoned and left in charge of it, who is actually a really nice laddie person, automaton, called Alex. If you meet them, be nice. It's not their fault. Really, it's not their fault. We are going to try to fix the train. If you come across the Father figure, beat the peck out of him. It's basically their fault. You are, of course, welcome to continue your little pre-arranged adventure on the train. Apparently, we all have a nice tailor-made individual one that if we solve, we're allowed to get off the train. But the last person to do that was 14 years ago. So, just keep that in mind. You could be stuck on here indefinitely. And hey, what's a little rebellion without a few friends, huh? Some of ye may have met me already by another name, but for now ye may simply call me Oscar. I'm short, Orange, have a mouth like a tin can opener, and I'm apparently a lot more qualified for the running of locomotives than the poor soul they've lumped with the task here. As for the picnic, who's responsible for all this, if you're listening, which I'm sure you are, in brief, I'm coming for you. And there is no machine, no monster, no demon, nor god in this world that will stop me. Thank you all for your time and attention, and remember, if you do make your way to the outside of this train, please mind the gap.
Bong, bong, bong. And the world resumes. Your goat continues running, your cart continues moving, and you are still in this race, even with the knowledge that just dropped.
Loccan is kind of zoning out for a second because it's like, engineer? I ain't heard that voice for a couple weeks now. Because remember, the last car he was in was with the engineer.
Yep. So it is a very familiar voice to you, even if the other two wouldn't know them at all, really, would you? Although, actually, yeah, Floof, Danny, have you any idea of who the engineer would be, like, in terms of movies, outside this train, outside of all of that?
Floof essentially grew up in a Luddite community, so he has never seen a movie. He does not know what a car is. He's very confused.
Amazing.
He's probably seen some movies and he's heard some talk. So he might have, in his childhood, he might have a vague recollection of that name. But it's like, oh, I've heard that when I was much younger, but I can't quite pinpoint exactly, what it was all about. But I would say that, yeah, he would have slight recognition to who this person is.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. What do you guys want to do? Because again, you're in this race. You can just, if you want, you guys can just continue doing what you're doing, trying to win this race and seeing how that goes. Or there is always the option of going and doing something else. It is entirely up to you guys.
I mean, Loccan's already, waist deep in this race. He is going to continue, see this through the end, but he is definitely getting some, thoughts running through his head about what they're going to do after this race.
I think Floof is sort of in a similar situation, especially considering Floof does not yet have the ability to fly.
Ooh.
So...
at the, I guess, quote unquote, sky to see if he could spot anything because he heard that there's supposed to be an escape. But like the other two, he feels like, okay, well, he's gotten in too deep with this race. He might as well stick it out and then try to, even if they don't win, they could still try to figure out something after.
No, entirely fair. All right, continuing with the race it is then. It's your turn. What do you guys want to do? You've all got actions if you want them.
So, question, do the Pink Panthers still have that, invincibility shield up?
Nope,
or...
that has worn off by now.
Okay. It's only 30 feet. Oh, dang it. No. Definitely no. Definitely not that. As much as Loccan would really love to just blast the Pink Panthers for jumping so far ahead, he's probably gonna focus more on the Green Meanies because they're the more accessible target at the moment.
Yeah. Also, they're the ones that have caused you more damage.
Indeed. They got lucky with that warp, but they don't have the speed to maintain it. So Loccan is going to chow on a quick little chili pepper and indulge in Floofty's desires and fire a firebolt at the tank this time.
Okay.
Floof's just in the background, and you see him pumping his little arms. So excited.
Attacks, spell attacks. So
Yeah.
oh,
no, that's a crit fail.
his mind is places at the moment, and it's not quite on this race as much as he wants.
Okay, I'm going to need a handling roll from you. And whoever's been looking after the goat, can I get an animal handling roll from you?
Oh, I think that's Danny.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, a 15 is just enough to keep the cart going in the way that it's meant to be going. And thankfully you got a nat 20 with this goat. Okay. This goat was panicking because, you know that firebolt you were trying to aim at the other thing? You almost hit the fucking goat instead.
Danny put the firefighter suit so it's like flame resistant.
Yes, perfect. That's wonderful. So thanks to Danny's excellent handling of this, both earlier and now, just this goat's completely unfazed. This is nothing. This is nothing. And even while the shockwave rocks the cart, Loccan, you manage to actually like pull the reins and you manage to keep control and you do not go tipping over. And this goat continues trotting forwards. No harm done. Things continue.
Loccan is admittedly like gritting his gun teeth.
Oh, that's so good. Floof.
Floof is going to hit him with his wrecking ball again.
Yep. Again, it works. How long does this last? Oh, that doesn't hit, sadly.
About 1 minute, so it should be close to dissipating soon.
Yeah, I think you've got like one more turn with it after this. I haven't been keeping count, but yeah. All right, Danny, did you want to do anything other than calm the goat down?
Right.
Oop, Shadow, you still there?
It cut out. Yeah, it cut out for a second when you started to say my name.
Don't worry, I was just saying, is there anything that you want to do with your turn?
It did it again. So you want to say make an attack? Sorry, I think it's cutting out.
One sec. Let me type it out.
Jeez. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
Yep, we hear you.
Okay. All right. So he's going to try to make an attack.
Mm-hmm.
So who's closest to green meanies or?
Yeah,
Green meanies are...
Yeah, green meanies are only 10 feet in front of you.
Okay. He's going to take another shot with his crossbow. Because how many times did he shoot? 5th time's the charm.
I mean, it's made some good damage before.
Yeah.
That sadly does not hit. That's a crit fail.
We've all been kind of disoriented by the message.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, considering you just got a nat 20 on handling the goat, you do not startle the goat this time, but the arrow just kind of goes pinging off the walls of the canyon that you guys are still galloping down, and you can hear some tumbling rock falls behind you that, like, they're gonna kind of continue and cause a bit of a mess. They do not hit you yet. But that's that. Onwards we go. The Pink Panther is just going to continue kind of along. It's just having a good time. Not much exciting going on there. The Green Meanies are going to do their best to catch up, and they do not manage it. And back to you guys again. You are now far enough that you get another bonus. You're at 330. Let me roll. You're in 3rd place, so that's just a straight D10. Yep, you guys, guess what? It's your turn to fucking teleport. You do not have to use this thing straight away, but again, there's that tinker glowing sound in the back of the cart just behind you, Loccan, and a scroll of paper is floating in midair there that has a very fancy rune on it.
Well, thankfully, Loccan knows a lot about paper. he's got Pact of the Tome, so he is a book learner.
Yep.
As much as he is a warlock, so this teleportation tome, it makes sense.
Yeah. Do you want to just use it straight away?
Yeah, looking at the positions, we're gonna go up ahead. So what do I roll for that?
I'll just roll you a d20 basically. And it's 10 times that. No, you know what? I'm not accepting it. The dice gods can fuck off right now. You guys don't need yet another crit fail.
Yeah, for those unaware, that was a crit fail, so we would have only jumped forward 10 feet.
I am calling a mulligan here. 80 feet. Okay, that's more useful. You guys jump ahead all the way to 80 feet, so you guys are now in first place at 400
We're at 410.
Yeah, 410. You guys are, you can see the finish line. You can see the cheering crowds. They're only 90 feet away. That's still 2 and a bit turns for you guys. So there's still the chance that other teams may win.
Yeah, I was gonna say, during the last attack that he did, I figured somebody was gonna do the whole, you missed! How can you miss? They were 10 feet away in front of you! And he caused a rock slide instead.
Well, at least the rock slide won't be your problem anymore.
Yeah.
And so are they still in the canyon? And can Danny actually shoot more rocks to bring it down on any other carts behind them?
Yes, you are, and yes, you can. I will still need you to make an attack roll, but it's an attack roll against, a wall of rock. I did say before, I thoroughly encourage you guys to go nuts and use your environment, but also it's fun just kind of getting caught up in I'm gonna blast shit.
Couple seconds, so do a roll.
Yeah, an attack roll, as usual.
Oh, okay, so my regular attacks.
Okay, that's a dirty 20.
Nice.
That hits. I'm not actually going to make you roll damage here. I'm actually just going to straight up do, a luck roll for how those guys go. That's an 8, which is pretty bad luck. Okay, you managed to hit the side of the rock, and you managed to lodge it straight into, a crack in something, and you can hear a rumble, 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 and it's obviously been disturbed by the rock slide you've got further up that now longer you guys don't have to deal with because you teleported out of there. But you can hear this rumble, 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 and these rocks just start tossing down, and I'm going to make both Green Meanies and the Pink Panthers do handling checks real quick, because this is bad. What the fuck? They don't know what's going on, and rocks are falling from everywhere. The Green Meanies do successfully save, so they're not going to go falling anywhere, but they are still going to take a chunk of damage, so their cart is not looking good. And the Pink Panther is still just moseying along. I fucking love this. I'm so glad I added this in. Was it just a joke? They do not save. The Pink Panther veers off and is going to go smashing into the wall. They can't not come apart completely because it was a pretty sturdy made cart and they hadn't taken any damage before. But they have lost basically all speed. So it'll take a while to pick that back up again. Yeah. What else do you guys want to do now?
I think with his last use of spiritual weapon, he's going to use the spiritual weapon to attack the canyon wall.
Ooh, nice. Ooh. Yes, please do. Attack roll, please. A 17 does hit. Again, I'm not going to make you do damage. I'm just going to roll a d20 to see how bad this goes. A 14. Okay, this doesn't go quite as badly as before, but it is still enough to make things very difficult. And while the Pink Panthers stop and will not have to make a handling check, the Green Meanies do. And woof, they barely manage to save, and I'm going to just make them take a little more damage. Yeah, their cart's looking pretty rickety. They're not looking great. The Pink Panthers still stopped and just is going to take a bit more damage as rocks go falling on top of it. And yeah, it looks like you guys are like, you guys have this in the bag as long as you can keep up what you're currently doing.
Do they still have the wand, or is the wand used up completely already?
You still have one charge left of your magic missile wand.
Oh. I have an idea of what I'm gonna do, but if you're gonna do the magic missile wand, I'll let you do that first.
Well, both Danny and Floof have now done something, so it is your turn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
In that case, Loccan is a rubber hose. He is going to use silent image.
Yes.
And like, how large would you say our cart is?
Including the goat, it's probably like 10 feet long, really.
That's fine. That's perfect. It's within 15 feet cube. That works.
Yep, it
So
works.
basically, what Loccan's gonna do is he is going to project a duplicate of our cart on, like, right next to us. So now we basically look like we've had mitosis. And then he's also going to kind of steer left and right while also shifting the illusion left and right. So we're shuffling each other around, and thus the green meanies are going to have to figure out which one of us is the real one.
Oh, I love that. I love that. You are still going to need to make me a handling roll just to make sure you don't go, veering off the track or anything while you're doing this. But I love... Ooh, fuck.
Ooh.
Ooh, okay. I think that was just like your little...
Loccan got a bit risky.
Yep, that weaving in and out was just a little bit too much there. Not with an 11. Okay, it is not catastrophic. I will give you that. But it's not good. I'm gonna say one of your wheels clips against a rock that's a bit bigger than you really should be going over, and you're gonna take a little bit of damage, and you will no longer be going at your top speed. So you're gonna be going a tiny bit slower. Your cart's not looking great. Your cart is mechanically bloodied, by the way.
Well, let's just hope that they aren't able to identify which one is which.
Yeah, because you have still got that going, so that might be helpful. And that's the end of your go, which means everyone's got to kind of... The Pink Panther's going to uncrash themselves and continue onwards, but they barely get fucking anywhere. The Green Meanies are still going at top speed, so they managed to get all the way to 400 feet, which means they're gonna get a thing, which is a D... 10 minus 2. I forgot the exclamation mark there. Mm-hmm. 1. Okay, they don't get anything that's going to be any use. And,
they got a coin.
Yeah, pretty much. And then you guys are now at 3. Sorry, I have to do maths. Call that 345 and call that 345. Oh wait, yeah. Did the Green Meanies actually pull in front of you? Wait, did I fuck up my math somewhere? Whoever played... Yes, I did. Okay, so you were at 410, and then you're gonna do which one? 35. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for being patient. I really do appreciate it.
Oh, let's chill.
You are at 35, and the Pink Panthers are at 390. There we go. So yeah, you guys are only like 65 feet from the end. You can do this. You're so close.
And also, if they're trying to let me know if any of them are trying to figure out like which one is the real one, if they're trying to make an attack, because it is an investigation check.
Mm-hmm. Will do. So, like, Green Meanies sadly do not actually have any distance weapons, so there's not really much they can do. So I wouldn't worry too much just yet.
Okay, well, still, we're throwing them off the trail.
Mm-hmm. It's a good move.
After that little slip up, Loccan's probably just going to put all of his focus towards driving straight now. He's already got the shuffled up thing done. He's just going to put his focus on driving straight and keeping up the illusion.
A good move.
Going to turn around and cast Shatter on the green meanies.
Oh, nice. Please. Do I need to roll anything here?
You need to make a Constitution saving roll.
Okay, sadly they're going to be good at Constitution because it was a really silly book card. That's going to be 15 make it?
Yeah.
Yep, okay. But they do still take half damage, won't they?
Oh, yeah.
Which will be regular damage anyway because it's an inanimate object which is going to be affected very badly by shatter. And that's a lot of damage. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna...
This sounds good.
This cart, you kind of just watch as this cart comes spring, and you get this wonderful moment of, like, the two guys that have been in it, standing on each other's shoulders. They've still got one of the horses that they had going. They've still got a single wheel that they are kind of unicycling on top of. This cart is still technically going, but barely.
Down to the frame.
Yeah, pretty fucking much. I'm even gonna slow it down now that it can't. It can barely go. Alright. Danny, do you want to do anything?
Oh.
Danny still has the wand.
That is true.
He's looking at them with that shit-eating grin.
Actually, the horse is going to have to make a Constitution saving roll too.
I'm putting the horse in total with the cart. They are one and the same. I'm sorry. I don't want to have to do that many rolls.
So can Danny use the last energy of the wand at them?
Absolutely. And as you use up this last bolt, the wand fizzles away in your hand, but you watch as this bright white ball of light goes and and yeah, the wheel, that last thing just got blown up. The horse kind of meanders off to go eat some grass somewhere else, and the two members of the Green Meanies team are just standing there, hair like all blackened and sticky up on end as they got blasted in this. And you have successfully taken out the Green Meanies, and now the only contestant left is the Pink Panther, who is just kind of meandering around at the back. I can tell you right now, barring whatever the Pink Panther manages to pick up at the next item drop, there is no way that you guys can lose.
Loccan just wants to get this over with so he can focus on the bigger problem, which is, what engineers pulled.
Alright, I think in that case, I'm actually just going to skip ahead, and rather than trying to continue this, I am going to quickly just do the D10 roll to see what the Pink Panther picked up. It did not pick up anything useful enough to make for it to win. Well done! You guys crossed the fucking finish line to roars of applause. Everyone's screaming, and Bello is like, and we have a winner! The mystery new team, the Purple Flames of Perdition, have stolen the race, blasted the competition out of the way, and they have won! And the crowd just goes nuts.
Loccan's finally relaxing and grinning to the rest of the group. It's like, yeah, we did it. And then he pats Potson on the back.
Oh God, you still have that as a fucking hood ornament. Yeah, you guys all receive, as you guys kind of hop out of your cart once you get past the finish line, you even kind of get a nod from the Pink Panther when he finally comes up and goes yep, good race. And you guys all receive these beautiful shiny gold medals draped around your neck for winning this race. Flashes of photographs go off left, right, and center, and you guys can now see at the back of this crowd this shining red and very familiar door that you guys have been through dozens of already, but congrats, you have actually completed this carriage.
Loccan is taking a brief look at the door, but he hesitates because the door's right there. We can leave. But he looks up at the sky, seeing if he can find whatever that escape hatch was. Should I roll like a perception or investigation for that?
I would say, yeah, either perception or investigation. It's up to you. 17. That's enough that you can't see exactly where things are, but as you're kind of looking up, this is probably the first time you're properly paying attention to the sky and how this place is made. And as you're squinting up there against the light of the sun, you think you can just barely glimpse, something that looks like the seam, like a seam or a line or the most hairline of cracks up in the sky that would make you think for the first time that, hey, that isn't like an actual sky, that's something up there, that's maybe a ceiling.
He is seriously considering trying to get up there somehow.
So Danny's also looking up. He remembered the announcement. Should he also do a perception check?
Yeah, if you want to. Ditto goes for you, Floof, as well, if you want to have a good look. Yeah, 16. Danny, you see the same thing that I just described. Floof, no, you're too short. The crowd's kind of like getting in the way. Sorry.
Well, Danny's looking at it like, so what do you think we should do? The door or take a chance? He glances up, up there.
I dare say that I'm a little tired of more of the same, if you are willing to make a chance.
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking I'm gonna be. If I don't stop the cycle here, I am going to go through far worse than I've already been through. And I named a pots, and I've already gone through a lot.
Okay, I can understand that.
But knowing the engineer, well, for one thing, he definitely knows his train. I should know. Oh, yep. See, on the one hand, I would like to break the cycle, but on the other hand, he did mention a giant robot with knives for hands and laser eyes, and that's a bit of a deterrent.
But you said you met him before.
Engineer? Oh yeah, I saw him in a previous car.
Oh, so my question is, if he knows so much about the train, why didn't you ask him how to get off?
I said he knows a lot about trains. At the time, he didn't know a lot about this train. But that gets Loccan thinking. Loccan is going to start looking around, seeing if there's anywhere that the mini train might be, like, running around this area.
I was so hoping you'd bring this back. Okay, I am going to need an investigation roll from you as you are scouring this place, and all these crowds are going about. Oh that's God. A crit fucking fail. Oh, God. I was hoping you'd get... Actually, no, you know what? You have advantage... Because
I have knowledge of the trains, I was going to say, give me advantage on that.
Yeah, no, you have advantage. Yeah, I was going to give that to you.
Wow, okay.
Nope, the dice have decided what happens here. Never mind, that was an 8. Okay, you do scour this place, but admittedly, you're only scouring part of this place because, the rest of this place was a, 500, 600 foot long canyon. That was this carriage. You're looking around the finish line and you can see maybe a couple of places that would be good for kind of hiding a resource train, but you don't have any luck finding tracks or hearing anything, sadly.
Loccan sighs. Dang it, they must have all been back at the starting line. And
Like-
because they
Danny's like confused, like, wait, what are you looking for again? Something that could help us.
in the carriage with the engineer, we were dealing with an entire carriage of smaller trains on this train that basically served as like a resource distribution and supply to all of the different carriages on the entire Neverending train. So I was thinking if there is any possible way for us to kind of either, if there was maybe a safer way to maybe find an exit hole, either that or maybe find some resources that could help us out in the long run.
Can Danny look around for it?
Yeah, sure thing. You
Before
won't,
you,
you won't have advantage, but
can-
yeah, Ghosty, you go.
can I cast guidance on Danny before he rolls for that?
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got an extra D4.
Oh no. See, so that's an investigation
Yeah.
or
Investigation. And you won't have advantage, but you do have that D4, so that's helpful.
so. So how would you type that in? It's the
Just-
D20.
Yeah, it's D20 plus D4. It should come through, or
And plus your modifier.
yeah.
Together.
Yeah, it does it in the math equation, so
There we go.
that's a lot better than Loccan
Yep.
got.
A 15 is just enough. As you are looking around and maybe Loccan kind of overlooked this place, maybe it needed like a ranger's touch because you know how things work. Like you know how this works. This may not be an environment you're massively suited to, but you know how nature works, and you kind of look at that, and that's a bit of an odd crack in the canyon there. You know that doesn't look quite natural, and you go peering in, and you can see a small set of train tracks there, like for a train that couldn't be more than maybe 3 feet tall maximum. And there's like a little tunnel leading out. The train goes in a loop and then goes, and like the tracks go in a loop and then go back into that tunnel. There's no train or anything there. It's just the empty tracks and whatever tunnel these things go through.
Hey,
Loccan's like,
I found something.
Loccan runs over, like, yeah, this was what I was looking for. No trains seem to be around at the moment. But he is going to try and, like, peek through the hole to see, like, because when they were at, like, the train carriage, he just saw, like, the different passageways with labels saying to go to different carriages, but he'd never actually looked deep into one. So he's going to try and like peer inside to see if there's like any passageway to the outside of the train from here.
Yeah, as you are looking
Even
through,
if
I will say there doesn't seem to be any sort of passage to the outside of the train, but you do get a whiff of like that very, very familiar smoke, sort of like steamy coal type smoke that the train carriage was absolutely filled with when you visited it.
okay, so
Question.
that's the return path.
Ghosty?
How tall is the tunnel?
The tunnel is, 3 feet tall.
I can walk in there.
Yeah, you can if you want.
I mean, if you really, really need, like, think you can, you're gonna be in a place with a lot of trains. I'll tell you that right now. Like, this is the one passageway I can tell you on this train that goes to a specific other carriage. Like, no other doorway's gonna do that.
Can't be any worse than here.
Yeah.
I mean, depends how much you like train.
We are trapped on a train. I don't think we have a choice.
I mean, like, Floof is going to definitely stick his head in there and take a look around just because.
The tunnel seems to go on for longer than you can really see through. All you can kind of see is just black. If you want to outright go walking through, I am going to need a constitution save from you.
Hey.
Okay, that's
no.
Okay. Oh, no.
Okay, Floof, you, yeah. With a 3, you start going down this track. You get, you get around, 10, 20 feet walking down this track, and then, you can feel the world, shifting around you, and, magic, and you can just feel so much magic warping and shifting around you. There seems to be some sort of teleportation or linking, or, you have no idea, but it is making you feel sick. You haven't had the chance to actually go through whatever that is, because with a 3, you get close, and your stomach churns, and your head spins, and you double over halfway down this tunnel, unable to go any further from the strength of this magic.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Loccan's peering in Floofty! Oh jeez.
Can I back out?
Yep,
Or
it takes you a little bit of time, but you can crawl back out of the tunnel, and as you get further away from it, you get the sensation eases and you can stand up and walk again, but oh boy, that wasn't nice.
Sure.
So much for that idea.
Would not recommend it.
Can anyone else try to crawl through there? I mean, I know it's 3 feet, but I'm sure if you wiggled around a bit, you could probably make it through.
I mean, if Loccan went prone, he could probably do it, but at the same time, after seeing what Floofty just went through, he's thinking that maybe it wouldn't be the best decision to try and just shove himself into the hole. But then he gets a different idea. He takes the sheet of paper that's taped to the pot, and he's going to use the backside of it to try and write a note to the trains, specifically a certain red train. He doesn't know if the trains can actually read notes or how this is going to be delivered, but he is going to just write a note like signifying that, hey, we've heard this rebellion thing that engineers plotting, and we wanted to know if you were in. And he's gonna roll it up into a tube and just try and toss it in there.
Just paper airplane, but that works.
Oh, I love this. I love this so much. Okay, I can do a thing with this. Give me a second, because I have no idea how I'm going to do this character's voice. Okay. You toss it in there, and with the time it's taken since you guys had to finish this race and get to the end, deal with the whole awards ceremony, because you still got all the medals and everything around your neck. As you go, the time it's taken for you guys to do that, it's been a little while since the announcement, and again, time's all weird, you don't really know what's going on. But yeah, you toss this note through, and you can hear kind of the gentle of trains in the distance through the other side, and it takes a little minute before anything happens. And then out through this tunnel comes one of the trains. It's not the red one that you were specifically aiming for, but it is just a train and a single carriage. And sitting on top of that carriage, ducked down to get through that tunnel as this train pulls to a stop, you guys see this tiny little, so old, so very old gnome. And he looks like he has seen the life of the universe go by as he kind of looks at you squinting. He's not too pleased about what's going on. Looks at the 3 of you, looks at the medals, looks around at wherever this is, and then just... What has happened to my train? And I'm going to end the episode there.
Holy crap!
What?
I'm going to end the episode there. Thank you so much for playing. Congrats, you three have gotten not just involved in not just, the general plot of everyone escaping. You guys have gotten involved in plot, and oh boy, I'm going to have to resolve this later.
I like Liz's idea. Punt him.
Please do not. Please do not.
He is very small, and Floof has much fire.
Oh, I will
God.
tell you right now, that will be the biggest mistake of your very short life.
Oh, I imagine. It's
Yes.
just, I was just joking around with the suggestion, but it's just like, oh.
Okay, with that, I do need to go because I need to go sort dinner. I need to do one or two other sort of things. This was so much fun. Did you guys have fun?
Oh, I had
It was
fun.
awesome.
I had so much fun.
I haven't gotten a chance for Floof to actually go crazy before, so that was great.
That was a
And
fucking
honestly,
delight.
neither has Loccan.
That was so good. I hope you guys will have
Great.
plenty of chances in the future to blow more stuff up because you guys worked as a great team, I do have to say. But yeah, thank you for playing. I love you all. Do you want to all say goodbye to end the recording on?
Yeah. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Ugh.